Dixon with nScreen Media, and I'm at MobiTV's offices to talk to Charlie Nooney, who is the chairman and CEO of MobiTV. And I'm here because you have a new solution for television operators that's completely IP based, right? And that can run on a broadband network. Tell us about that.
That's correct. I mean, we've been operating in the IPTV space for some time on the mobile devices. And what we've created is what is the equivalent of a pay TV application. So it really is the idea of, if I'm a cable operator, mid-size, small size, quite frankly any size operator that has content, we can provide that service to them on any retail streaming device, Roku, Amazon Fire, Android, Apple, etc. And it really is saying, let's take pay TV and put it in the application business. And that's the solution we provided.
And that's a huge deal because, of course, pay TV operators are trying to control costs because their customers are complaining about the cost of pay TV, and this can save them a bunch of money, right?
Save them a lot of money. I mean, if you're a mid-tier pay TV operator, you're looking at expensive costs when you have to upgrade your set-top box, upgrade your infrastructure, et cetera, truck rolls, et cetera, et cetera. So it's very hard to compete. So this really allows them to compete in the new world and actually compete aggressively, because what we're providing them is the state-of-the-art system that screams innovation, because all the innovations you can do on IP networks.
Right, and so now this is actually deployed. You've deployed it at C-Spire, right? Tell us about that.
C-Spire is launching later this month. It'll be launching in Mississippi, and again, it's a full cable lineup: local channels, network DVR. Every bell and whistle you can think of will be on C-Spire, their entire cable lineup, and it will be launching then this month, and quickly followed by a lot of other operators will be announcing.
Right, and there's a couple of things that I think are really cool about the implementation. First of all, you support local ad insertion, very important to smaller operators, right?
Exactly.
And you also do full network DVR, so Absolutely. You have full functionality there?
Full functionality.
So you can also do things like replay services and on-demand services?
Absolutely.
That's all included
Absolutely.
all in that platform?
And what's great is, given the fact we're a software platform, whatever the rules allow. So as the rules change over time, you're not having to redo a hardware solution. We are a software solution. So if network DVR goes from 3 days to 7 days, or this program has rights, this doesn't, we can adapt to that accordingly. So it's a very sophisticated system, and quite frankly, a better system than you would have if you were working it off hardware.
Now, what about the scalability of the service? You're not only deployed with C-Spire, right? You have another customer in India, and there's a lot of people using that service. Right?
Yeah, one of the things we did as a company is we actually had to look internationally from the deployments as we were building our platform, because rights here in the U.S. were really not around OTT services for a long time, particularly as they related to cable operators and network. So we actually did business in Germany and Japan and other places, but about 3 or 4 years ago we got involved with a piece of business in India with Reliance and their Geo service. And that is 400 and some odd plus live channels. And what's really cool about that is it really tests the scalability of our network. I mean, that service launched in September last year, and they're over 110 million subscribers to date.
Good grief.
And it's I mean, again, the scale of that network is astonishing, how quickly that thing is growing, and it just keeps growing. So yeah, it really did make us very good at scaling our network, our product, for sure.
And talking of scale, you've actually handled over 1 million live concurrent users, right, for a cricket match?
Oh, I think we've come close to 5 or 6 million for concurrent users. So yeah, the Super Bowl, bring it on.
That's amazing, and you're doing that with just straight adaptive bitrate streaming, one-to-one streaming.
Yep.
That's pretty amazing scalability.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
So just before we finish up here, let's talk a little bit about the environment for pay TV services. It seems like this is a really good transitional product to be able to offer to operators. They're facing a lot of strain on their solutions because they're very expensive, because they're very inflexible. Talk to us a little bit about how this positions them better for growth for the future.
Well, it allows them to stay in the game. I mean, at the end of the day, there's so much pressure on being a triple play solution, and these guys have been in the market for a while. Video is critical. Now again, they're getting a lot of cost pressure. It's very expensive for them to maintain that infrastructure, to upgrade the infrastructure. So they're really looking at 3 options. One is I take my infrastructure and move it to an IP box, IP QAM, et cetera, et cetera. One is I get out of the business. I turn it over to one of the OTT providers, which actually puts me in somewhat jeopardy in terms of losing that subscriber contact, losing that subscriber interface, et cetera. Or 3, I compete in the IPTV space, and that's the solution that we're bringing to the marketplace. So it's cost efficient for them. It allows them to be innovative, and allows them to stay in the game. And really kind of, for these guys, like I said, the broadband piece is very important. It also allows them to expand their footprint a little bit, which is kind of cool. I mean, all of a sudden, the big players and small players may shake up a little bit because it allows these guys to reach people they hadn't reached before.
Sure. And as you say, it is a real struggle for the smaller operators. So this could be a great solution for them to look at bringing on board to keep that triple play and keep people bound in with all of their services.
There is no question that they are facing a fork in the road.
Indeed. Charlie, thank you very much for telling us about this, and I hope you'll invite us back when you've got more to tell us about new deployments.
We will do that. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Thanks. This has been Colin Dixon with nScreen Media.